Hi everybody, this is Matt from Shadow Moses 112, and I'm doing a video review of the Haslab's Cobra Hiss. I just received this in the mail yesterday. Didn't really have time to sit down and look at it, but I want to go over it today and see exactly what we got. I think we got all the unlocks on this campaign, and now I'm just really excited to see the product in its physical existence. So I'm going to take a look at that. We're going to start off looking at the packaging. And I'm assuming this is the front because it's kind of opens in an unorthodox way. But we have the picture of the H.I.S.S tank, and then we see, she's kind of cut off, but we have Destro, Cobra Commander, and then we have Baroness over on the side. And the picture continues over onto the side. We have the Cobra officers, and we have the H.I.S.S tank with I guess that's just the standard gun configuration, but we also have all these other pieces like the missile launcher, this side turret type of gun that we actually unlocked with the backing campaign for this. And then it actually shows off the little light feature that we got, which we'll see how that actually is executed on the vehicle itself, but it seems kind of like a superfluous detail to me. I don't know. We'll see. On the top, we just have the logo, Semper Fidelis Serpens. So kind of a play on the Marine Corps Semper Fi. We have some kind of looks like almost an orthographic construction drawing of the H.I.S.S itself with all the different guns equipped, and then the giant Cobra logo over here. I know some people don't care about packaging. I'm one of the people that do. So when I was removing the tape in preparation for opening it up, I was careful. So there are quite a few bits of tape that come on it. There are basically 2 on each side. And then I thought there was another one. Oh, yeah. Sorry. There are 3 on each side. I'm opening it from this side. So we have 2, one on the top, one on the bottom, and then we have one over here because this is the panel that actually opens up to slide the vehicle out. On this side, let me back this up a little bit. We have just an image of his soldier with the shovel. I believe the shovels, I don't know if the shovels come with the figure, if they're actually part of the tank itself. But we just see that, and then we see the tank with, it looks like artillery cannons on it. On the back, we have another view of just the vehicle itself, kind of just bringing that into focus, along with all the different credits, the warnings, and then different parts in adult assembly required. We'll see what that's about. I didn't expect it to come together, but I was also hoping I wouldn't need the screwdriver. And then we just have this separate angle of the officer. I can't remember the distinctions between the red and the blue, but I think one is a Cobra officer. So I don't know. Oh, there is stuff on the bottom too. Nice. So it's the Mark I, which I'm kind of curious to see if we'll see future H.I.S.S tanks down the road, but right now, don't know. Kind of cool that they include the scale on it. So they talk about how it's a 6-inch scale. Not sure what the 11.5-inch. Oh, I see what they're doing. So this is basically the specs of the vehicle, which is kind of an awesome thing to put on the box. Weird that it's on the bottom where it's going to get all marred up, but we see the different. You're not going to be able to read it, but it says this unique invention of MARS Industries and projects the Cobra logo on the ground ahead of the vehicle. So within the G.I. Joe universe, there's Mars Industries. And this just basically is talking about all the different features on it, like the twin H.I.S.S integrator cannons. I believe this was one of the unlocks. The floodlights, I think, are standard. Okay, so down here we just have, this is the instructions on the push button in different languages. It's actually in English down at the bottom here. Just another orthographic visual of the vehicle itself, talking about the cannons, the blaster on the side, the missile pods, the convoy lights. I'm really excited to see the interior of this. I know that I was working on designing one for a little while, and it just never came to be before the backing campaign came out. I hear tape moving, but that should be fine. I have my backdrop taped up. Yeah, I'm really excited. Really excited to crack this open. Let's see what we get. What'll work with me? Oh, oop, wrong side. I rotated it. So I already opened these. So it's not an authentic unboxing, technically speaking. All right, so up here we have a keyboard tray. Down here. Okay. If you don't have one of these, I will let you know now. It has some weight to it. I'll see if I have the shipping label handy. I think I tore it off the exterior box, but it weighs probably 12 pounds. It's not small, as you can see. I have to finagle everything. All right. I'll put this here. I don't know what's in these boxes at all. I basically just opened that main box and then closed it back up. So in here, oh boy, we do have some bit of assembly to do. So these are the panels that go on the side of the tread. Here's the canopy. That looks awesome. Oh, that's right. I forgot they give you interchangeable canopies. I believe that was an unlock. We have there's the okay, so this is the front turret that goes beneath the nose of the chassis. And then these are more tread panels. All right, this is empty. Oh, mama. Just take a gander at that. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so excited right now. Oh, boy. Okay. They're sliding out. All right, let me get all these little pieces out. Okay. I'm at a really bad angle for this. Oh, shoot. All right. This, I think, is going to be a one and done assembly. I don't know if it's made to be taken apart again. So you probably won't need to hold on to you might not need to hold on to your packing materials. I shouldn't speak so quickly. All right. She's a beaut. Oh, man. Ooh, the rubber treads. That's cool. It's a solid piece of rubber down there, but it's still kind of nice that it's a different texture and that it actually it's a functioning tread. Sorry to guffaw so loudly right in your ears, but this is awesome. Okay, we done with the plastic? It's enough of that noise. Okay, so those are more unlocks. I'm just gonna take a moment to appreciate this, and it's out the box, just overall looking at it right now, and it is awesome. These are, oh, it's actually textured. I was worried, I thought it might have been just a sticker, but this is actual texturing on the side of this. See if you can see that in the light. This it's not a pop out. That would be that would be next level if this actually popped out, but just it's textured in there. This is a solid paint. All these little rivets that go into it are textured, so you can feel those. What is going on? Sorry, Pete just sent me a message, and I wasn't sure if he was watching this or not. I know that he has something else going on right now. There's this opens up to do something. I don't know. I have to check the other box for instructions. We have like a little step ladder that pops out. It actually clicks into place. So that's really cool. The turret spins. Oh, that's an awesome detail. So this panel opens up. We get to see some of the circuitry going into the engine there. It even has a little Mars Industries logo. I don't know if you'll see that. That's kind of, you can kind of see it. That's awesome. Really, I really like when you have removable panels to just add an extra layer of detail to things. I saw in Big Bad Toy Store the Super 7 Ninja Turtles van, which is an insane price, but I like some of the details they include in there, like a back panel where you can have Donatello using a a soldering torch to repair the engine or something like that. And then we have just some more logos. 788, which means I don't know. Batteries are not in yet. The switch is here. There's some loose panel here, but I'm guessing that that's for the gun that actually goes on the bottom of that. We have the Cobra logo. Let me angle this camera because that's such a finicky position to get. So on the front, it looks almost like a DeLorean. We see the headlights that actually do light up. All these little lights in there light up. We have the Cobra logo here. I can illuminate that a little bit. And then just additional lights. So this front really has some awesome detailing going into it. Really nice job by Hasbro on this. And this is, I mean, again, this is kind of what to expect with Haslabs. They're just really awesome products. They're expensive, but it's just, they go above and beyond with them typically, except for when they go unnecessarily above and beyond, like the Spirit of the Engine of Vengeance, but whatever. So in here we have a little light up console. I'll show that when I actually put the batteries in. We have some controls and levers that actually move, which is really cool. There's a harness to keep them in their seat, which is kind of nice because if you have this thing moving around, it would be annoying to see the figures jostle in there. It's kind of weird that they went with this design because you can just see inside. You could actually see like the edge of the mold. It would be nice if there was some kind of wall in there so it didn't look like it was just a hollow chassis. That's kind of something I'm noticing that I'm not a huge fan of, but it's not gonna ruin my overall take on the vehicle because I'm still thrilled by this thing. I'm just noticing some more details. If they'll pick up, it's really faint, but yeah, there you go. So along here you have this detail, just kind of a almost like a hazard kind of striping. We have those same details as on the other side, the Cobra logo, the working tread, which is really cool. It doesn't have wheels on the bottom. It relies entirely on the tread. So I was thinking that this piece of tape was something regarding this figure as a toy, but it actually looks like it is more so instructions for any Cobra soldiers. It says, warning, secure canopy and hatches and remove weapons and ammunition prior to lifting. Fuel level must be below 25% prior to transport. Ensure all electrical systems are powered down and main brakes are engaged. So just kind of a funny little warning to put on there to kind of give it a little bit more of a sense of reality and actual deployment in the war against the Joes. And again, just around where the turret, the gun emplacement goes in, just all these little rivets around there just are really nice to make it look like it's an assembled piece of equipment. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, sorry. On the back, we have the canopy lights, which is really cool to see. I think this angle works better for you guys. And then, yeah, they did a really good job of nailing some of these contours that we have going on. Like this slight curve that we have of here is something that because I have the 1/18 scale, and they're just real subtle curves on this thing that give it just a nice shape. This is not like, it's not a flat panel. It definitely has a bowed angle to it. And then we have this opening panel down here again. And then we angle this again so we can see. So we have this shelf that comes out. I guess it's kind of a bed, almost like a tailgate, really. And that folds up, I'm guessing, so that when you open this, it's not in the way. And then we see inside, which looks very cool. I'm gonna very cool details in there. So we have a single seat, because I mean, really, you're not going to fit a whole lot in there, but you can move it around, which is awesome. There's just some panel details in the back. It's going to be really hard to get the lighting in there. There you go. Some nice panel details in the back so that it's not like the front of the vehicle where it's just a shell. And then we have a gun rack over there to hold one or many guns, which is a nice detail. Behind it, you can see kind of the shell of the vehicle, which is a nitpick I'm going to repeat again because I like it. It is a toy. Yes, it's collectible, but it also kind of kills the immersion into the world when they have like just things that stand out as toy characteristics, kind of like an empty shell. At the bottom of the canopy door, or the rear door, we have this little hitch, which I'm not sure what that'll be used for down the road. Kind of curious to see if that'll have any application with other sets, or what the intention is behind that. I know that the 1/18 scale has it. This one's a little different because that one is just basically a molded piece. All right. So let's slap these panels on, because the intention is not to just have the exposed treads. How does this work? So there are, I'm going to check for instructions in here. And actually, I'll just go over the contents of this box really fast. So, as expected, instructions and stickers. Cool stickers. I love stickers. Oh, the box has an autograph on it. Now I don't want to open it. So, I don't know. Curious. I forget. I should have looked it up, but I'm super prepared and stuff. So we have the H.I.S. Tactician, H.I.S. Driver, and then the Cobra H.I.S. Gunner. So the Tactician was the one on the side of the box, opposite of where I actually opened it. And then we also come with a retro style. Let me take this out. It comes with a retro Cobra Commander, which is pretty cool. These accessories look really good too, actually. I don't think I have a retro Cobra Commander. I think I just have the classified ones, but yeah, it's a special one for this product, which is nice to see. I like when they treat these things as the special releases that they really are. I mean, it's a shame that excuse me. It's a shame that the Vamp isn't going to be this level of exclusive, but I also like that the Vamp has a higher rate of accessibility. Like, you're going to be able to find them. I don't know if they're still up for pre-order, but I ordered 2 of them because I'm a psychopath. So we have number 101, the Cobra H.I.S. Gunner. I didn't see a number on the box for the vehicle, so I'm guessing it doesn't have a tag number. Then we just see on the back an orthographic image which is my favorite word for this stream. We see the picture of the, well, basically we see the artwork for the soldier and then the different guns that they get. I mean, I don't know what other details I really need to go into detail and exposition about. So, yeah. I'm going to take this out again. I don't want to bend the top pane. For the H.I.S.S driver, we see this cool, also retro style artwork, kind of with, it's basically the same artwork from the front of the box, actually. I didn't even realize that. But yeah, the pictures that we have on these are the same that we saw on the H.I.S.S vehicle box itself. So, and again, we have, I think this artwork was actually displayed on a campaign. Can't remember. But just, it's nice that it's a unique box. And this is number 99. And then we have the Cobra H.I.S.S Tactician, which was the one on the opposite side. Signed by Ron Pudat. Don't know who that is. But thanks for the figures, guys. And this is number 100. Woo! Comes with guns and then a little alternate hand. But yeah, it was really cool that we got all the unlocks on this. It's definitely one of the things that makes the back-end campaign special, is getting all the extra stuff. All right, now that we've checked that out, I'm going to close this up again. And if you didn't realize it, the rest of the unlocks were all attachments for the H.I.S.S vehicle, and I was pulling them out with the H.I.S.S tank, which will roll back into frame. Adjust my camera again. This thing is so big. All right, let's see what these instructions say. It looks like there are 2 panels. I'm not sure if one is optional or if you have to put the one over the other as you put it together. So we get this little instruction booklet or pamphlet, whatever you want to call it. Just shows all the different features and ways to prepare your vehicle. It does not come with batteries, so that's a bummer. It makes sense, I guess, because why would it? Batteries are only $12 or something anymore. All right, so we have the turret, I guess, is the first item, which is already in place. We snap the guns in place. Okay. Yep, you see the instructions there. Use as a gun rack. Ooh, the missiles apparently come out of that, which is cool. And then you see the way to set the driver, swap out the canopy. On the back, we have, oh, the different light up features. So yeah, and remember seeing that image. I'm bummed out on batteries because we're not going to get to see the inside of it lit up. I'll have to capture that in better detail. Try to get the camera really up and close in there. But just kind of covers the vehicle itself. Doesn't really give me any instructions, so thanks for letting me figure it out. It won't be that hard. It looks pretty straightforward. We're out of pieces. Okay. Yeah. All right, so there are 2 different panels that come with this vehicle. We have the standard one that's pretty basic. It's just black. It has nice detailing. Again, all these little rivet screws are actually textured on there. We have these little handles that don't do anything, but they give it another sense of actual functionality. So that's cool. Did they really not go over this in the instructions? Okay. I feel like more of the... So these just go onto this area here. I'm going to put the other ones on. I like the little detail we get. Because if you look at the other ones, they are much more dynamic. We have these cool red, I don't know really what you want to call it. It almost looks like a vent. Might be intended to like kind of simulate drafting or some more aerodynamics to the tank itself. But it's also cool because both of them have these identifying tags on them. It would be kind of a nice detail if they were different, but it's nice to see. I like when they include these other things to kind of bring it more of a realistic feel, so that like it was made by Mars Industries and that there might have been other collaborators on the actual creation of the H.I.S.S tank. We have all these little panels. This has that nice detailing that'll match with this. You can kind of see it there. So put this on. I guess that's on. So there's that. I like just how much that pops. Just a nice contrast to so much black and like gunmetal gray. The red really does give it a bit of a vibrant look. And just to show you what it looks like with the smaller one, this is like the standard plate on there. Yeah, there's a little bit better lighting. I mean, I pretty much am sold that this one looks better, but it's still cool. I like the other one as well. If they ever did another release, I might. And if they did another release of them and I was tempted to pick another one up, because I think this was $300, maybe then I would equip them with different panels, because I like to have different display options if I have multiple or something. But just for the sake of having one and preferring the other panel, here it goes. I don't know if that's supposed to be clicking in or not. The top two are in. I don't know. Probably not a great idea that I smacked it like that. I do what I want. All right. Let's get this gun turret on. So the one image made it look like it was a chain gun that went on the gun emplacement, but there's only one gun option. I just forgot about it, honestly. So this just clicks on here. The clicking you heard off camera was that they come just pointed up, and you can tell that's not right because this is the handle, which is a rubbery, more malleable plastic. You can't even see what I'm doing. Professional streamer. There's too much stuff here. So all of those sounds you heard off camera were me rotating the guns, because when you first get it, they're just pointed straight up. Let me take this out. Make sure these are in all the way. And I'm just going to bring this in focus a little bit. Kind of see the control panel we're working with. There is no control panel. There's just this. I think there might be a sticker that goes on there. Let me see real fast. Ow. I saw something on this instruction booklet. It might be so This makes it look like something was there, but I don't know what. Yeah, there's no text in the instructions, so I don't know if they're trying to tell me something with this front piece or not. It doesn't come off or anything. There's no need for a sticker, so I don't know. I don't know what you're yelling at me about. But focusing on the guns now, just some nice detail on it. It's not a Mezco figure or anything like that, so it's gonna have more limited details, but it still looks nice. I like that we have so many contrasting colors on this, because like the rest of the vehicle is a lot of large blank panels and such, which do still have some detail on it. But something like this, I want more focus on, because this is a highlight of it. It's not part of the chassis. It is a highlighted accessory of the vehicle itself. And we have some nice vents here that they're just texture, but the fact that they're actually indented does allow for the shadow to provide contrast. These are indented, but they're also painted a little bit of a darker gray. That gunmetal silver really pops out nicely on this. I like the way they use that. And then I also like how they gave kind of a reddish hue on the tip of the cannon on the barrel itself to kind of simulate heat from just being fired in rapidity. So that's a really nice detail. I mean, this thing is awesome so far. I also like how they contoured this down so it doesn't take up so much space in the back of that. And thinking back to how much space there actually is in there, I'm impressed that they managed to do this so effectively. This kind of just snaps right in, which is cool. Where are those little, here we go. I don't know what this is for. I don't know what this is. So I have this other piece that came with, and it goes like that. Maybe. Oh, okay. That's what that was telling me. So on this, you can kind of see here this little piece that juts out. That actually slides into this, and it's a different. Unless I'm entirely wrong. I'm doing it too low. There we go. So it's just a different armor that goes there. That's kind of cool to have that swap out option. Again, it's just hollow plastic in the back, which kind of bums me out slightly, but it makes a little more sense here. I think on the inside of the vehicle itself, you'd have just an interior wall so that you can't see like, oh, cool, it's only 1/8 inch thick. But this looks really good. I wish that this was red, because it would pop out more. It would just be like a giant warning, but beggars can't be choosers. This thing needs to get out of here. So we have these two little miniguns that go on the side, and they don't want to come out. This is definitely a single-use packaging project. I mean, you could actually take this apart reasonably easy. It seems kind of tedious to do that, though. So we have these miniguns. I'm going to put the... Oh, wait, what? There's no belt ammunition? Okay, that's what this is. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting thrown off. Because they're both the same. Oh, okay. I see what I did. I like that they. Sorry, everybody. I got a little confused by the way that they did this. So Each side has these miniguns on them. Be careful that you rotate this the correct way. I had it backwards before, and you're going to want to look at where this hole is, and on the instructions you can kind of see the way that they're supposed to be oriented. So even so, I still had it upside down. That really threw me off. But what can I put behind this? It's kind of hard to see against the black background. There, that works. So yeah, it's a minigun. It's a chain gun, minigun type weapon that just gets mounted on the side of the gun turret. Won't focus, but you can see that there are actually holes in the front of that. You might be able to get blast effects pegged into that. It doesn't come with any, but you probably could do that if you have any. Focus. Just some more details on this side. It won't focus on the actual gun itself. I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to get the detail as best I can. Anyway, grab the other one. Now that I know which way these get oriented, they just peg in. It's going to be tight because it's a hex hole and it's just a round opening. These are kind of rubbery, so they're a little more malleable, which will make getting it in a little bit easier. In a separate baggie, we have the actual ammo for those. Oh, good, it's just open. Get out of there. So yeah, just basically a barrel of ammo. Just a I can't think of the term. And this just plugs in like that. Luckily, I can just rotate this, so I don't have to rotate the whole thing. It's a little, they're tight. It's kind of nice that it's tight, in all honesty. Rotating these, it's tight, like, because it's that more malleable rubber type of plastic. But I'm kind of glad that's tight because I don't want them flopping around as I rotate the turret. It's nice that they hold their position pretty well. And then I'm just going to assemble this one here. As you can see, this just goes in there. It actually is keyed so that you put it in the proper gun. And that goes in here. But it is really tight to rotate. Kind of want to have a facing different directions. I like that these secondary guns, they're optional. You don't have to put them in there, obviously. I like that they have them, though, because we're this in a real combat situation. It's nice that the gunner has different options, so they don't have to rely on this for like really close range. They can focus on soldiers coming into the foreground with that close proximity weapon, as opposed to relying on this giant cannon to take out infantry, when it's definitely more of a vehicle, or like it's an anti-vehicle, anti-artillery gun. I don't know that I would typically have all these different weapons displayed on it, but it's kind of cool that we could just load it for bear and put like all these insane weapons on the vehicle. So I'm gonna try to get the chassis or the inside of the cockpit now. Before I forget, I'll remove some things because I don't have the batteries to light it up. So there we can kind of see the display a bit more. I like that they have some detailing on the actual displays so that it's not just a generic light up console. Like it just looks like there's a sonar, just some kind more generic. Oh, hold on, my phone rotated. Sorry. Some more generic kind of screens off to the right of that, but just the light up, the little buttons that they have under it, and then just that heads up, that HUD kind of showing what might be like battlefield information, just like a real-time display looks really cool. It would look really cool lit up in red, but I'm a failure at life and I don't have batteries in stock because I don't use them for anything. Sorry, guys. All right, so let's figure out how to put this front turret on. I'm gonna have to look this up. So just a simple bottom, but it's fine. Let's put it on the side. So down there is where this extra gun goes. I'm gonna try and get that in there. I don't really know how I'm supposed to do that. I don't want to. It's definitely loose, but I don't know if it's supposed to slide or if it pops out. Oh, that's a button. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so I'm a fool. That was a button to turn on some light. I don't know what. I guess maybe the H.I.S.S light, the Cobra LED. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm gonna have to look that up. But this just plugs right into that front thing that I thought was a button, and it just plugs in. These guns actually look really cool. Let's see if I get some capture the detail on those. This just plugs in and out pretty easily. So I'm gonna do it the way that they're supposed to actually be oriented. So nice little Cobra logo on the side. I like how they have these this kind of framing metal. That looks really cool. And then we have some nice detail on the guns themselves. Really like how much detail they captured on the actual barrels of those, like the bodies of the gun. The barrels look cool, and once again we have like that slight reddish pink to suggest the heat from being fired. Nice detailing on the bottom. Hasbro's been doing a really good job with the G.I. Joe line, so I'm not surprised at the level of detail that we have on this. It's just nice to see them being consistent with it for the most part. I don't know that I've really had any figures that were a huge letdown. I know that Buzzer, I believe, the Dreadnought, the G.I. Joe, the Cobra Buzzer figure, I wasn't super enthusiastic about him, but for the most part, I've been really pleased with all the other offerings, or at least most of them. I'm going to put, so we have the two canopy choices. This is the original one. It's basically just clear plastic. I'm going to put the other one on because it has that really cool detailing with the red and black. And I just think it adds an extra level of contrast that makes it pop, brings some more life to the figure, to the vehicle, excuse me. I think the vehicle looks great, don't get me wrong, but I like having more contrast in it because it just makes it look that much more dynamic. Oh, this is also a special canopy. I forgot about that. So the canopy just plugs in really simple up here. But it also has these fins that kind of lift like that, like a DeLorean. These are all detailed with little rivet screws on it all around, actually, which is really cool considering this is mostly just blank panels, and those rivet screws really add that much more of a look to the overall appearance. Cool. Glad that went in. This might be a little tricky. Oh, God. I don't want to break it. It's one of those instances where I don't want to force it and break it. I'm just nervous. This is hard to get in. There we go. Cool. This is thin plastic. This canopy is really thin plastic, so I was just afraid of snapping it or just like, yeah, breaking it entirely or just bending something beyond repair. What else is really cool, actually, that I'm noticing is that while these things are a little flimsy, they're actually these really small plastic pieces sticking out that help the canopy lock into place. And when you're lifting these individually, it helps keep them aligned and in this and where they're supposed to be. So it's just this little piece of plastic right there that just keeps this locked in, which is really cool. Just a nice little thing to help keep everything in place, because it's a thin piece of plastic. It's kind of flimsy. Well, yeah, just because it's the 3-pane one. The other one is going to be more sturdy just because it's one solid piece of plastic. Earlier, I mentioned these pegs on the side, and I wasn't sure what they were for. Or not pegs, these little compartments. Those are for the rocket pods. And all these rockets come off, which is pretty cool because you can make it look like it actually fired some rockets. The rockets themselves are pretty simple. They're just black missiles with some detailing, which is kind of cool. Like, I don't know if it's going to pop, if it's going to really show up that well, because I'm going to get a lot of glare. But they just have little panels on them, and even have like little screws that are textured. They're not just kind of paint applications. So the rockets look pretty cool. There's no blast effect that I have that'll fit in that. That's pretty big. But they just plug in. Again, which is just kind of cool because you can take them off to make it look like it has one rocket left or whatever. Or make it look like it's firing some rockets throughout an engagement. And that just goes in there. It still rotates. It's kind of loose in there. It's not anything's crazy. It just plugs in. But it adds that extra level of being unnecessarily prepared for battle. Let's slap the other one on real quick, just for fun. I guess that's it. Oh yeah, that's about it. So there we have the Cobra H.I.S. tank with all of its weaponry, all of its special stuff equipped. Just come firing at the sky. It's very cool. And this thing is awesome. Just taking time to finally appreciate it again. It's really cool. This thing is awesome. Let me get my tape measure because I want to find out just how long this thing is. Let me do this. I was trying to use the camera to kind of gauge it. I'm going to line this up. The back. So, aligned with the back of this box. The nose itself, we're going to right around 19 inches. With the front gun on, it's around 20 inches. So, yeah, it's 19 and 20 inches long. It is 11 and a half inches tall. That's what the box made it seem. So, yeah, just under a foot, around 11 and a half, even with those side guns on. So, I'm going to look at it from just the treads. So, it is just over 9 inches wide. Those back there, these rocket pods, are going to make it around 10 inches wide. So it is a substantially large vehicle, but it is very impressive. It makes me even more excited for the Vamp. I really would love to get the two of them next to each other and kind of, sorry about all the plastic wrestling. There's just a lot of packaging materials with this thing. So yeah, I'm really excited to get this thing next to a Vamp and just create some, well, like I don't have the space, unfortunately, to do any really crazy dynamic scenes, but just having the two of them together would be awesome. Like, I'm so excited about this thing. I don't want to open those, I'm hesitant to open those other figures. I also want to make this review specifically about the Vamp. Maybe I'll do a side discussion about those figures that come with it. I don't really want to take the extra time to go into those. I really just want to focus on the Vamp for this video. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to use an Arctic bat to just kind of show a figure sitting in the driver's seat. So how does this work? I don't know. I don't know how this harness works. Oh, that is okay. So this top. This is tricky. So, oh, okay, that just plugs in. Awesome. So, this basically just snaps into a little button on the back of that. Awesome. Nice and easy. It seemed like it was more complex when I was just kind of feeling it initially. So, they're really generous and give us a good amount of play. These are just tucked in to the side over there, the waist part of the harness. The groin area strap is fixed. It's in a fixed location, so it doesn't move anywhere. But right. Yeah, he's not in all the way. Oh, cool. There's actually something that keeps them from coming out of the way, too. This is going to take some finagling. Because you can't see anything going on in there. This doesn't come out or anything either. You'd probably rip it out if you wanted to be a masochist like that. But I'm not like that. Let's try again. I'm going to take that wherever the hell that went. This is the other reason I didn't want a loose... The other reason I didn't like the idea of a hollow cockpit was because little pieces could get lost in there. I got it back, but... Alright, so... I'm going to have to do some prepping on this guy to get him into a position where he can sit. I want his arms up so that they're not in the way. So... Oh, his other leg wasn't... Alright, I'm going to make this as simple as I can. I was kind of curious to see what other figures you'd be able to get in here, if anything, and the harness actually makes it kind of tough to do that. Alright, so there we go. It looks like his leg gear was getting in the way. Well, he's still not quite in there. Ugh. All right, he's in. Finally. He's not comfortable in there, but it'll work. Lock those in. So there we go. We have a figure in there. This thing is so cool. I'm actually glad I put him in there because you could more easily see him, like, because he's so contrasting on silver and white rather than a black and red figure in there. This thing is awesome. Just the fact that I could get the figure in there and close the canopy and everything is so cool. This thing's awesome. Again, I don't think that I'd regularly display it with all these extra guns on there. It just seems a bit superfluous to me. But man, this thing has such a cool presence on it. I'm kind of curious. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see down the road if like Mezco does a excuse me, like a generic kind of Cobra officer figure, if they could get in here. I feel like Mezco figures are going to be really tough to get into this just because they don't typically have that thigh articulation in their hips. The G.I. Joe figures obviously fit in there. There might be some issues with some figures that have bulkier legs because I believe that this guy's mostly the holster was getting caught up on something with one of the arm control panels. But overall, this thing is awesome. I'm so pleased with this. Hasbro really delivered an awesome product. I'm gonna have to get batteries just so I can try messing with the lights and seeing how they look, because I know the headlights and the canopy lights are gonna be really cool. I want to see the control panel lights in action, and oh man, this thing is awesome. I believe it was a $300 set, and it was. I'd say it's worth it. Let me pull it up real quick. Okay, go away. So yeah, their specs were actually, this is kind of funny because it's different than some of the images they originally released on the campaign. Like the canopy, the gun rack in the the gun pack in the cargo bay. The gun rack in the cargo bay looks different on the actual backing page. All right, so switching over to this, you can see the different. Well, here this is the original gun rack that they had configured on the backup on the campaign. They originally had this gun rack up. I think that the one in there in the actual product looks better because it just isn't so bland. It stands out. We have. Let me do a side by side display. Oh, bummer. So yeah, we have this different gun rack in there that just kind of contrasts nicely. I don't know if this does anything else because I see this piece behind it, but I think that's just holding it in there. Although I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe some other brave soul will be tempted to mess around with it, but I feel like it's in there, like it's like attached. I even like how they have details on this ramp. Just simple texture, but very cool. And then on the display, oh, that works better. I like that picture in picture. This is the better view of the heads-up display that we get in there in all the red, just while it's lit up. I also like this little targeting screen they have on top, and that's especially because it's visible from over the front of it. Like, it's kind of menacing that you'll just see this targeting screen there in front of your Cobra soldier. Definitely would be something kind of spooky to see in the field in the battle. Just that's the last thing you see. And what was I originally going to look up? So these are the different. Okay, this is where we had the choice of the soldiers. So these were the first unlock. Second unlock were these. Oh, I stand corrected. These are the unlock treads. The retro style treads were the unlock, and this was the default canopy. The retro style canopy and these retro tread covers or armor skirts, tread skirts, those were actually the original releases. No, those were the unlock. They were unlock number 2. The retro tread skirt and the retro H.I.S.S canopy. Those were the unlocks. We originally were going to have this canopy with the 2 folding doors, and then these updated treads, and I honestly like this tread skirt more. I just think it looks cooler, has more coloring and more life to it. 3 was the extra guns on the turret, and then the guns and the two cannons in the front, or the integrator, the H.I.S.S integrator cannon, because they have to name it that. The 4th unlock was the carded Cobra Commander, which actually is a really cool figure. I'm glad that they put that in there. That was a nice unlock. He just looks really good. And that was the 4th unlock, I guess. But I think that was the last one. I think that this reached all tiers, because they usually only do so many. I forget. I think that, yeah, so right here we see the different upgrades that they had for the stretch goals. And it was kind of like the Sentinel was the same way. They met all the stretch goals on that. Didn't for Giant Man, which is kind of a bummer. And I didn't get Galactus, even though I'm kicking myself about that now, because Galactus was such a big, awesome figure. But yeah, really enjoying, really pleased with what we got for this release. This is just a great vehicle. And it's really nice to see this arrive before other vehicles. I'm excited. Excuse me. I'm excited for the Mezco teased vehicle with looks like Black Adder squat or Death Adder. I forget that figure's name, but it's nice to see these other vehicle, like the Hasbro, this classic Hasbro vehicle coming to life first. We have other vehicles, like we have Mattel fit vehicles for like the Slambulance and stuff. Let me grab that actually, kind of show you a sense of scale on that. So there it is next to the Slambulance. I know some people don't like these vehicles because they're like pre-damaged and they're not the greatest detail, but it's nice to have an ambulance. I like that his tank is bigger than it because it's a tank. You stop that. Don't roll backwards though. Yeah, just having things with this sense of scale are really cool. Very pleased with his tank. Really like to see the Vamp and how that's going to hold up, especially because that's only a $100 vehicle. From the teasers, it looked awesome. But oh, before I go, I'm gonna show you guys the stickers it comes with. I probably won't use the stickers because I don't like stickers, but just a sticker sheet. Bunch of Cobra logos, numbers, like the little Semper Fidelis serpents. These little hazard triangles are kind of cool. Maybe I'll use those. I like the idea of those, just to add something that pops onto it. But yeah, really, really cool vehicle. I don't know if they'll be available again, or if it's strictly going to be an aftermarket product. And if it's an aftermarket, if you have to get this on the aftermarket, good luck to you. That's the one thing I forgot to check. So yeah, this was $300. I'm pleased with it. I think that maybe, no, for what we got, it's really good. If they did a really good job with this, I would say it's probably worth the $300, just because of the size, all the details that they put into it, and then with the unlocks. With any Haslab's campaign, the unlocks really justify that initial price. It's kind of a bummer that they don't always make the initial the initial product worth that. Like the Engine of Vengeance is a great example. It was probably worth that price after all the unlocks, but if it doesn't reach that, you're paying too much for that vehicle. With all the unlocks, this thing is nice. It has a lot more versatility in the display. Sorry, dying. I was gonna sneeze again. We get a lot more options with the display, with all the removable guns and everything, with the different canopy, the different treads. Having that level of versatility alone definitely increases the price tag, I would say. And for $300, I think this is a good offering. It looks fantastic. It actually feels like a real quality product. The one thing I'm a little iffy on are the treads, but whew, sorry, because they're just kind of a cheaper plastic. Maybe that might be something that breaks down over time if you really go crazy with it. But otherwise, just having it sit, using it for photography, using it in a diorama or a display, you're not going to wear it down. You might want to be careful with some of these different things, and especially these guns, turning them, just because they do have a really good grip in that hole, and they're not. It's a rubbery material, so like, man, I don't know if that's an optical illusion or if this is actually warped. Really bums me out when plastic pieces get warped, but it might just be the angle that I was looking at it from. But yeah, it's an awesome product. Anyone who's looking for it on the aftermarket is probably going to end up paying way too much. And if you end up doing that, I hope you love it. It definitely deserves to be loved and appreciated because, again, Hasbro really knocked this out of the park. There's so many different features that as I just walk around my apartment and I see it throughout the day, or like even when I have it set up in my house, I'm going to be really excited to just see something that with this much presence. It's awesome. And just having it next to other sold like GI Joes or Cobra figures just gives it that much more sense of scale, and just how really drives home the size and quality of this product. It's a really great offering. Really leaves me excited to see what comes out down the road in terms of the vamp. There is a plane, or no, there is. What was that one? So there's the Dragonfly that's coming out this coming summer. Yeah. And then there's the Sky Striker. I don't think I backed the Sky Striker, which looks really good, but the fact that it's a plane, I'm just like, eh. And that one only. So this had an original target of 8,000 backers. It got 26,000. The Sky Striker had a 10,000 a target 10,000, and only got 15. Probably because they were asking too much money. That's gonna be my guess, because you're not gonna have quite as many features with a plane as you will with this. Like, it's mostly accessories that you're getting with that. Again, oh my god. Excuse me. I did, however, back the Dragonfly, and I'm really excited about that. So, contradict myself. It's another air-based vehicle, but it's not a plane. Like, a plane doesn't hover. Like, I feel like there's more application you could do with a helicopter in the air than you can actually do with a plane. So, thanks, Pete. So anyway, before Pete gets even more mad at me for yawning and like dying on camera, I'm going to end this because I'm just going to ramble on about it. So be sure to check out our stream on Sunday, where I will undoubtedly ramble on more about it to Pete because he didn't get one, and just talk about it a little bit more. Maybe go into the other Haslabs products a little more if we go down that road. But otherwise, this is Matt from Shadow Moses. Be sure to check us out on Instagram for updates on the different projects we're working on. We're at Shadow Moses 112 there. We're also Shadow Moses 112 on YouTube. And we go over all sorts of different things on Sundays. We talk about movies, games, figures, just all sorts of nerd stuff. So feel free to come in, get involved in the chat, and engage with us. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your week. It is Thursday, and I am going to sign off. Take care, everybody.